choice to make. But we will not get so offended as to say that we are cutting ties or we don't want to relate with you. But those who are willing at this point to work with us, those who are excited about new corporations, deepen ties, we'll work with them. As and when they think they are resolving their national security concerns and they want to come back to their traditional friends, we will be all hands open and all embracing. So it's really just about being strategic and navigating.
There's a concern about
we are not going to
in
be
it
making
for us.
choices.
So this is a broad question, but I'll use a case study. So I feel like we go to FOCAC, we go to TICAD, we go to US, Africa, whatever. It's almost like even the Russians are doing the same thing. We Africans just go to listen to the agenda of the Americans, the Japanese, the Chinese, the Russians. What is our agenda? What is in it for us? What are we taking there, right? And which is why some people feel like these countries use us. So a lot of people feel like these 14 people who were brought in, is basically Americans using us. Some people even feel the Chinese, the closer we get to them, they do great things for us, but some of their people come and misbehave. Galamsey as an example. So I'm a bit worried about, it feels like everybody's inviting us supposedly to help us. But who are we inviting? What is our strategic, what are we also looking for? Because I don't know.
So if you have observed our foreign policy posture, we go into these meetings with what we want. When President Mahama arrived in Japan, he had a 10-point agenda. The Volivo Bridge was one. He wanted it revived. He needed $100 million for agriculture. The $1.5 billion Japan wants to invest, we submitted our project proposals. So we go with our agenda. When he arrived in Singapore, he knew that Olam wants to expand. We told them that we are ready, provided incentives. Immediately they agreed and said they will come and establish a 43,000-ton factory for pasta, which they have started. They hope to complete next year. Then he talks about the accommodation situation in our universities. He says, start with a pilot. I want 10,000 hostels at the University of Ghana. They are about to start that. He goes to their lab for testing. He says that we have an issue with poor quality of roads, and he wants testing labs to be established for quality construction materials. That is being done. So he had his agenda before arriving. We meet, we strategize, we have a paper before we go for this, and we don't really care about what others are doing. So then if you've also noticed, check the bilateral negotiations I have been having with my counterparts. When the Serbian foreign minister came to meet me, what did I present on the table? I said, I need visa waiver. I need jobs, a labor mobility agreement. And it's been granted. We've signed them. When I met my German counterpart, I said, we want a labor mobility agreement because you have an aging population. We have a very youthful population, median age of about 20.
I see.
You know, we must benefit. So I've been telling colleagues at the foreign ministry that, look, it's no longer going to be about just conferences and popping champagne and dressing nicely. It has to be impactful.
And what are we giving in return?
You
listed the
impactful
things. You listed the things that
so
Japanese will
visa
give us.
waivers.
What is it going to cost us?
We are getting visa waivers. We are getting scholarships.
No, I'm saying
we are getting projects, funding for our projects.
What are we giving in return? Access to our markets.
Access to
our because some people feel like you give off, not a problem. All the things that are nice things we need. But these are products, a bridge, a factory. But some people feel you are giving away your sovereignty, all right? Your ability to say no. And I go back to China because we do know that there is a province in China where a lot of the people who come and either do illegal mining or sponsor it come from. So whilst you are collecting all these products, you are also giving away your freedom.
Not at all. I went to that city, Nanning. I went there myself, met with the mayor, met with the governor. After that, I announced new visa measures that we are no longer accepting group visa applications.
Is that the problem? Is group visa
yes,
or single visa the problem?
Because when we did the analysis, coming in droves, claiming they are coming for conferences and they have all kinds of conventions, it turns out they are just coming to do do galamsey. And so it doesn't allow for our officers to vet them properly. So once it's a single application, you're able to vet thoroughly to really assess what the person is coming to do. If it's not a credible businessman or a credible tourist, you deny them the visa. So in as much as we have been out there looking for good deals for our country, we have not been pushovers. We have been very, very firm.
There's a concern that the issue of foreigners in galamsey, this government has not been truthful to us. When Aisha Human was deported without being prosecuted, you took issue with that. You wrote and criticized Osafo Maafo for this. This government seems to have the same policy. When Muntaka met the press, he said, when we catch foreigners in galamsey, we will deport them. He didn't say they will prosecute them. He was very bold and told the media that when a foreigner is caught, we will deport you. That is a complete betrayal of the position you and other leading members of your party took in opposition.
So once again, as a cabinet minister, I'm not aware that there's been a cabinet decision against prosecutions and that we should just deport. I think that at that point, the Honorable Muntaka was offering probably a personal, analysis of the situation, because as a cabinet minister, I do know that there's been no cabinet position on that matter. And my personal position on this is still consistent, that there should be prosecution. We have to treat everybody equally. You prosecute, they should serve time if they are found guilty, and then after which they can be deported. We shouldn't have an animal farm situation. We shouldn't have a situation where it's as though we are treating foreigners better than we treat our own people, especially when sometimes they are the ones who are the real, culprits, who are bringing in all these chamfines and these excavators. So, sometimes we need to really look at the context.
The Interior Minister is the one in charge of internal security. So if he tells the media that this is what we are doing, that cannot be his personal view. Because you are not the implementing ministry. In fact, you said that on Monday, that your job is for those who come in, or in fact, your job is foreign affairs. So the Interior Minister, the one whose ministry oversees the police, the immigration, and the prisons, is telling Ghanaians on record that they will deport foreigners for them to be treated in their own country. That's, I mean, foreigners engaged in galamsey to face immediate deportation. In fact, you actually said it yourself too.
If you
April 7.
Yes, if you play that video, I talked about prosecution and deportation.
But your colleague did. Your colleague said we're just deporting. Interior Minister.
And I've said that it's not the cabinet position.
So did you raise it in the next cabinet meeting that Interior Minister, what you are saying risks being misconstrued as our position, because in opposition we said this is a wrong policy. Did you raise that in cabinet?
I do know that as we speak, the current Attorney General is prosecuting foreign nationals. I don't want to appear to be picking on, even though we know there's a suspect. Prosecutions are going on. And the President has said in cabinet that prosecute. Let's make an example of that.
Okay.
So I don't think that was a cabinet position.
And not to pick on you, you listed 15 things you said Akufo-Addo could do to fight galamsey. I don't have time to read all. I can only see about 3 that this government has done. You listed 15 things. One of which was you said something about what the embassy in China should do, which is directly related to you. But let me read about 3 of them. Instruct the Attorney General and IGP to discontinue the harassment of anti-galamsey protesters. Well, there's no protest, so that's not an issue. Sack all regional ministers who have failed to prevent galamsey as chairs of their respective regional security councils. Sack all MMDCs who have failed to stop galamsey as heads of their respective municipal assemblies. Reshuffle ministers responsible for lands and natural resources, environment, science and technology, etc., etc. Recall all police commanders and national security operatives. Impose a 5-year ban on all forms of small-scale mining.